Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aaron. I would like to show you how I build virtual production movie sets in Unreal Engine. This is actually my first vlog, so please bear with me if you hear any strange noises or see some glimpses or whatever. It's my first time, so again, I'll try to recover in next movies. In this series, I want to show you my flow on how I build virtual sets for movies and for instance music clips, and I want to see how far I can push my 2015 laptop. Actually, it's kind of a necessity because during COVID it seems really hard to order a new one due to a lack of parts, so I'm actually forced to working on this old laptop, so that will make it even a bigger challenge, so bear with me. You see here, as I already did some stuff in Unreal Engine. I'll show you some more of the Unreal scene later on. This is kind of what I'm working on at the moment. Actually, the end result is something similar to this, which kind of inspired me. It's just a post-apocalyptic scene, which is made by a guy named Adam. I'll post his link in the description below. So before we get to that stage, I always start with the actual building in a non-decay state. So before I jump to Unreal Engine, I'm actually going back to the basis, which is for me 3ds Max, and basically the basis of this whole project will be these elements. They are modular elements, like puzzle blocks of a puzzle, and allow you to build big areas of a building or a city in this case. And the principle is actually really simple. Before I start showing you how I built this, I'm not going to go into texturing right now, maybe in a different vlog, but I do want to show some basics that I find interesting and important. For instance, the topology. So it's very important to keep the meshes clean, so the flow of the lines, the way the meshes are built up, a nice and clean flow, working in a clean manner is very important to me. So that's one of the details. Then also texel density. I won't go into details too much today, but it has to do with basically how sharp and consistent is a texture displayed on a model. Again, I'll probably go into that at a later stage, but it is something I take into account at an early stage. So we have some, what kind of puzzles or building blocks do we have? We have some street models. Let me put on the edges. We have some curb elements. We have some potholes, and of course we have some building parts. So I thought it would be interesting to just start building and yeah, see where we get. So the principle is really simple. Of course, I take into account in early stage that the connection between blocks is seamless or covered or masked, so you don't get any strange artifacts. In 3ds Max, I basically start copying and connecting elements. I might jump from one time frame to another, so I'm not going to bother you with every little step. So it's copying have some ornaments. This out of the way. And ornaments are really handy to put on the edges of areas that connect. So that goes here. I have a rain pipe, and then I can continue this block. Copy that. So if you want, you can go on and connect like 100 of these elements next to each other. One thing I need to address, and I'll also show you in Unreal Engine, is that I should disconnect the window planes, because now you see the repetition in every element. I should have disconnected these window planes and put them more randomly, but for the sake of this movie it doesn't really matter. So let's copy this one another time and put it there, and of course we can go around the corner and continue that way. And you see they're actually built up like movie sets. So any plane that doesn't need a backside doesn't have a backside. In this case, my facades do have backsides because I want to show some of the interiors later on. So let's see, let's go around the corner here. And then we go start copying that way. So this kind of shows the principal setup. Let's add some chimneys. I always like adding small but simple details. The more small details you add, the more a scene comes alive. Even like adding these LED elements. Let's put some here. So I basically build up most of the scene in 3ds Max. So after I have a like a rough build up, let's copy these. Okay. A couple more times. Okay. You can start working on the surroundings. So for simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna drag these to act as a pavement. The textures, I in this case used 3D scans as a basis. Just found them on the internet, translated them to a format that is workable for me. So of course you cannot work with millions of polygons, but you have to be clean in your work and use projection to get all these effects. I make sure to add some randomness, so put this one down, put that one up. A pavement like this is never flat, so stuff like that. And then we'll copy this, kind of doing it quick and dirty, of course. Normally I'm working a bit more neat, but for demonstration purposes I'll do it like this. And we can add some curves. So let's take these. Put them there. Lower them a bit. See, they already have some variations. Like that. Copy. Voila. And then take this plane. Yes. Some street cobbles. It does show some repetition in the texture, not so much if you're close by, but as you zoom out you see all these square elements. For now I'm not worrying about it too much. I might project a different texture later on, or put some debris on top so you won't notice as much. So that will be a street, and then I'll add some plant or some tree holes, some dirt. I don't know how you call it in English. And principle is the same. Just place it. And copy it. Okay, and then rotate for some variation. Okay. So this kind of shows the build-up, like in a really quick way, on how I prepare my scenes for Unreal Engine. From here it's exporting to Unreal and connecting materials, shaders. Also, I'm not gonna go into that too much for now, but in Unreal the principle is basically the same. Once you've set up your materials, so for instance here you see I have like a wet environment, see, and I added some depth in the window interiors. It's all material settings in Unreal Engine, and from here it still looks too clean, of course, and you still see the windows don't have randomness and stuff, so I still need to work on that, but principle is the same. I'm gonna copy stuff. I already have some issues with my laptop, but again I accept the challenge. And let's copy that this way. Do that another time. So again, nothing too precise for now. It's simply duplicating and placing it somewhere else. Okay, I'm jumping a bit forward because I had some issues with my laptop, but I think for this week this kind of shows the result. This scene is actually built in a reference scene that I'm using, so it actually has a game controller attached. So if I push play, we can kind of walk around as if it's a game, and you see it already looks fairly decent, I think. So let's leave it at this, and I'll work on improving this scene, and I'll share my findings and results in the next vlog or movie. In the meantime, feel free to leave a comment. Maybe you want some explanation on some stuff, or make sure to subscribe to my channel.